Listen, look, I'm all about honesty and transparency. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do lose a little bit of motivation. But that's where discipline kicks in. Okay? We still here, and I know y'all had to miss me. I know who wouldn't miss this gold mine. But look, listen, I'm not gonna waste too much of y'all time because I know I'm a little bit behind on schedule for my uploads this week. So look, what we're gonna do, it's your boy Estelle. Let's get on with the show. Yeah! Alright, so today we actually have 6 most disturbing abandoned building encounters caught on camera. That is a fucking long title. But, as some of y'all may know, I am probably the greatest and the latest paranormal expert on the platform. And so today, we're not going to just be watching and reacting. I'm going to be giving y'all my expertise on survival when it comes to encountering the weird shit in abandoned buildings. My number 1 rule would be, why are you in the buildings in the first place? That's not conducive to your health. But, on all chance that you end up there, listen to me. For legal reasons, this is actually a joke. Please do not follow anything I say in this video. Some of it probably will be true. Don't follow all of it. But hey, enough time wasting. It's your boy Snow. I already did that shit. Damn. Let's get on with the show. Yeah. Where's my cursor? There we go. Tell me to get a little ooky spooky. Ooky spooky.
Urbex Hill is one of the most popular urban exploration channels on YouTube, featuring raw footage from YouTuber Chris Hill's visits to a lot of the more extreme abandoned buildings in the US. From abandoned mental hospitals to decommissioned military facilities, Chris explores all of it, but specifically places that a lot of even the more extreme explorers wouldn't visit, at least not at night and alone like Chris always does. In January 2023, he uploaded footage of his visit to the now abandoned Paul Revere Elementary School in Cleveland. After almost a century of use, the school was permanently closed in 2015 due to declining enrollment numbers. Although there are allegedly plans to turn the abandoned building...
I know the video just started. I don't understand. Like, okay. I said this for a lot of different things. Is it thrill? Is it adrenaline pumping when, like, you go into abandoned buildings? Like, or are y'all actually looking for something? Not even trying to hate. It's just some shit that I would never do. But, like, what actually is the goal? Or is it literally just exploring? I know exploring shit can be fun. Like, there are multiple times where I'll go out, like, the different parts of, like, near my school and shit, and we'll just go explore the area. But that's like the city where it's like, it's vibrant. We're looking for new things to do. I don't really have an interest in exploring abandoned buildings. You feel me? But hey, let's keep it going.
Into a housing complex. As of 2024, Paul Revere Elementary is still abandoned and in terrible shape.
Wasn't he like a horse
From
rider?
The moment Chris walks inside, it's pretty clear that the place hasn't been used in years and has been severely damaged by the elements, vandals, and the passage of time. The bottom floors are all flooded, the walls are peeling, the structure doesn't seem too sound, and there's rust, random papers, books, and all kinds of debris lying everywhere. Throughout the video, you can see messages written in seemingly fresh chalk on some of the whiteboards, confirming that people have been in the building recently. This was actually Chris's second visit to Paul Revere Elementary. When he uploaded footage of his March 2022 visit to the school, several people in the comments mentioned they had either been students or teachers at the school and talked about how incredibly sad it was to see their beloved childhood school ruined by abandonment and lack of maintenance. A little after 10 minutes into the exploration, you can hear some sort of ruffling sound and other strange noises coming from somewhere in the schoolhouse.
I would show y'all my old school site, but I realized I'd probably have docked somebody by accident if I did that, so we can't do that. But yeah, my old elementary school is no longer up. It's just a... Sorry, I was talking. My bad.
Somebody's here.
As Chris turns a corner in the hallway, another person's flashlight can be seen shining down the hall. It looks to be just one person, who was likely either another urban explorer or a squatter.
I'd be
Still, at
fucking
1 a.m. in an
terrified,
abandoned
dude.
building, it's obviously best to avoid drawing unwanted attention to yourself, especially when you don't know the other person's intentions, which is why Chris ultimately decided to run instead of making his presence known. Making sure to walk in the other direction to avoid running into anyone, he then heads to the library and explores the rest of the
We
top
didn't
floors.
leave, knowing there's
As he
somebody
goes
there.
into the bathroom on the top floor, he has a
Wasn't this person black? This isn't activities for us. You need to stop. You should have fucking left. You don't know if that's a squatter. It could be another urban explorer. But he might be on drugs. Might be a crackhead. Nah, fam.
another
Bugging.
encounter.
Tripping.
Somebody's in there. Scared the out of me. Oh man.
At the far end of the bathroom, what appears to be a human silhouette can be seen standing completely motionless.
This has to be fake.
After the initial shock of
because
the encounter, Chris draws his gun and goes back inside to confront the man.
why the fuck are we going back inside?
What the? Oh, it's a f***ing toy.
That shit just Son, that shit just bucked at you, bro. Yo, go back. That shit just bucked at you, bro. That's not a fucking toy. Toys don't buck at you.
What the? Oh,
What fucking
it's a
toy would that even be?
toy.
Yo, Urbex, you make me mad, yo.
Oh my god, that scared the out of me.
Why are his eyes glowing?
As it turns out, the silhouette was actually a scary mannequin that somebody set up, probably to scare away visitors. What's most eerie is that even though we can't know for sure how long the mannequin had been standing there before the footage was shot, for some reason it fell forward just in time for Chris to see it, the most reasonable explanation being from the sound waves bouncing off the wall. Most people would have left as soon as they saw the mannequin, but Chris continued to explore the rest of the school, seemingly unmoved by the horrifying experience he just went through, though not before clearing the entire rest of the bathroom. Sadly, some of the rooms in the school are filled with books, whiteboards, and other perfectly usable
Wouldn't this
materials
also
that
be
could
bad
have
for,
been donated
like,
to another school before
your
the building
breathing
was
health?
abandoned. But nobody seemed to care enough to give them away before the school was abandoned. About half an hour into the visit, Chris climbs up to the roof, which in itself is pretty risky. Even if you don't care about getting caught by the cops, there's still a very high risk of the roof caving in, especially considering the state of the building when the footage was shot. Fortunately, he was able to climb down safely, but that's when a strange noise could be heard coming from the other end of one of the hallways.
Safe is still here. I wonder what's in it.
As Chris explores one of the rooms, a strange howl can be heard in the distance, and as he raises his camera, you can clearly see a shadow moving behind the door at the far end of the room. By this point, it's pretty clear that not only are multiple other people in the building with him, but now he's possibly being stalked. Once again, Chris draws his gun and prepares for an encounter, but he doesn't find anyone in any of the rooms. After this, he admits he's ready to call it a night and decides to head home, but not before this final encounter.
This place is weird as hell. Oh, here it is. This place is crazy.
Buddy, I don't know why we went there in the first
I
place.
remember the last time I explored it. Hello?
Just leave! Chris!
Hello?
Chris!
What?
Chris!
Okay, I know I heard somebody coming down these stairs. I'm out.
As he struggles to find his way out of the school, the sound of footsteps can be clearly heard on the stairway directly above Chris's head. But after running up and calling out to see if he gets a response, nobody acknowledges him. Luckily, he was able to walk away unharmed and has continued to upload videos of his visits to abandoned places pretty frequently.
Just the entrance alone is horrifying, bro. No. Like, what?
The Proper
Why?
People is an urban exploration channel owned by Brian and Michael, two friends who travel the world in search of
The
abandoned
Proper
buildings.
People.
For the past
not
10
say
years
proper?
that their channel has been active, Brian and Michael have built up a reputation for being a trustworthy
spell
channel
proper?
that only
Oh,
uploads
retro.
genuine footage of their explorations.
Oh, wait, isn't it with
In
two
a niche of
Ps?
YouTube that's often plagued by cheap, fake footage from people trying to get their 15-minute
Okay. Lost the camera there for a second. So, we're back, though. Don't worry. Let's get back to it.
The Proper People
This
has
is gonna be
endured as
hell
one
to
of the
kinda
most
line up
reliable
now.
channels
Oh
in the
my
urbex
God.
space. They gained their fame from explorations of genuinely cool places instead of faking creepy encounters or anything of the such. In 2016, they uploaded a video of their nighttime visit to the Jemison Center in Northport, Alabama, often referred to as Old Bryce Hospital. From 1939 to 1977, the Jemison Center housed hundreds of psychiatric patients and acquired a reputation for treating them pretty harshly.
Oh.
Often referred to as the creepiest building in Alabama, Old Bryce was closed in the late 70s and has since been reclaimed by
black ass wouldn't
nature
even be
and
in
become a
Alabama in the
hotspot
first
for urban
place.
explorers from
In the
all over the
first
world.
place.
As Michael and Brian approach the location in their car, there doesn't seem to be anyone around, and after driving around the grounds for a while, the two YouTubers get out of their vehicle to begin exploring, settling on the basement as the first area to explore.
I'd be scared to even leave
After
my,
more than
like,
4 decades of
car
abandonment, the
there.
entire complex is almost completely destroyed, and while some of the walls are completely covered in all kinds of graffiti, some of them aren't even there anymore. With the state of disrepair
How
of the
the hell's that
Jemison
even
Center, there's always a chance that the structure could collapse on itself and trap Brian and Michael inside. But as they go up the stairs to explore the top floor, it becomes clear that an unsound structure is the least of their worries.
Whoa, look at this. Look at this staircase out here. Oh. There's somebody there.
No way.
Yes, I see their light. They're out there.
I saw
I
something
swear
for
on
a
my life.
second, but
Right there.
where the fuck are we looking?
Here.
Should I say hello?
Yeah.
No.
There's somebody out there. Let's go back to the car. This way. If
Yeah.
it's somebody wanting to talk to us.
Let's go to the car now.
Oh yeah. Oh,
As the camera pans to the window, the outline of a person holding up a light can be seen on the staircase on the opposite side of the building. Disturbingly,
Sure.
as soon as the uploaders turn off their light, the other person does the exact same thing, indicating they were watching and didn't want to be spotted.
Tripping.
Chillingly, if you rewind the footage to when the YouTubers arrived at the top floor, you can clearly see a light outside the window frame, but it's unclear if the light was coming from the same person who was watching them. After calling out and receiving no response, Brian and Michael decide to go back to their car to avoid getting jumped or worse. It's hard to know what exactly the intentions of the other person were.
Yeah,
but
no,
what's even
bro.
more disturbing is the fact that there were no other cars in the area when they arrived and when they left, which means that whoever was there had arrived on foot and probably been there for a while.
Probably a squatter. I would never
Ridgely
understand.
Hospital was a women's
shit
psychiatric
at all.
hospital in Lancaster, UK that operated for almost 100 years from 1916 to 2013. Famous for being one of the first psychiatric hospitals in the UK that fought for the humane treatment of mentally ill patients, Ridgely Hospital housed thousands of patients and used modern treatment methods such as electroconvulsion therapy to help patients with a range of disorders, from severe depression to obsession to mania. In April 2022, YouTuber Exploring with Tom visited the site with 3 of his friends in the middle of the night. Throughout their visit, they were extremely loud and not aware of their surroundings, which is obviously not the best idea when exploring an abandoned building.
I could not
Keep
be
in
the one
mind that
back,
most of these
hell.
abandoned buildings are still considered government property, which makes it illegal to trespass and explore the grounds. Still, if you disturb a hostile squatter's home by being obnoxiously loud, getting arrested would probably be the least of your worries.
I'm not scared of you.
Well, I am scared of you.
I think someone is here now, to be honest with you.
What the?
After
What did
hearing
they see,
some
though?
strange noises coming from one of the rooms, the 4 explorers call out to see if there's anyone in the building, and this is where things get a little disturbing.
What? Be careful. There's someone there. Just like, see what it is. It might be. He might need help. Hello? Hello? What? Everyone okay? Everyone okay? Keep calm. Keep calm. Man! What the? Don't hurry up. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Bro, I'd be more scared of the fact that I'd be running into something else too.
What do you want? He's right there. He's right there. What the? Yo!
As soon as one of the teenagers calls out, a man can be heard screaming from inside the room. Without thinking twice, Tom and his friends make a run for it back to their car, but disturbingly, the man isn't satisfied with just scaring them out of the building and ends up chasing them all the way to their car.
Yeah,
It's
hell
unknown
no.
who the man was or what he wanted from them, but one of the theories that's been echoing in the comments is that he was probably a homeless person who got upset at the amount of noise Tom and his friends were making.
Probably.
It's probably not too pleasant to have 4 rowdy teenagers burst into the abandoned building you call your home and start yelling, laughing, and swearing. But still, it's good they were able to get away unharmed.
And what to do with Chris with the gun, you can't even really defend
In
yourself because then if you
2006,
shoot
a
somebody,
36-year-old
it's
man
gonna be
named
reported.
Vincent Fillion
They're gonna
was
get
living
to
in the
you,
woods as a fugitive
and it's
near
self-defense,
Lugos,
but it's
South
self-defense on
Carolina,
trespass
after being
property.
accused of abusing his stepdaughter. In
The
September
fuck?
of that same year, he saw a 14-year-old girl named Elizabeth Schoaf getting off the school bus and decided to abduct her. Posing as a
bro.
police officer, Fillion arrested Schoaf on a supposed marijuana charge and led her to his hideout in the middle of the woods. For 10 days, Elizabeth was chained up and abused by Fillion in the underground bunker beneath the hideout in what can only be described as a nightmare come true. Still, the girl was
That's
extremely
fucking
resilient
terrible,
throughout
bro.
the whole ordeal and came up with a plan to escape from the horrifying situation she found herself in. If she wanted to escape, Elizabeth knew that she had to get Vincent to like her. For several days, she pretended to be in love with Fillion, and eventually the kidnapper lowered his guard, even unchaining her and allowing her to play games on his phone. One night, while Vincent was sleeping, the teenager got a hold of his phone and sent a text to her mom saying she was in a hole across the Charm Hill, that there was a bomb, and to call the police. As it was later revealed, Fillion had planned to draw in as many people as possible to the bunker to detonate a bomb and take the lives of the responding officers.
Jesus.
However, he never managed to carry out his plan, for just a few minutes later the area was surrounded by helicopters and he was forced to surrender. To make a long story short, Elizabeth was able to move on with her life, and the monster named Vincent Fillion
That's
spent
good
the
for
rest
her.
of his life in prison, where he
Good
died
for
in
his ass.
2021 in his cell.
Not good enough.
In December 2023, a YouTuber named Big Banks visited the abandoned hideout where the terrifying crime took place. Immediately upon entering the house, the uploader finds something extremely disturbing.
I think this was the little girl's
Jesus
backpack.
Christ. Exploring shit like this, bro, like, it would just feel wrong. Like, if I was an urban explorer, it'd feel wrong exploring shit like that. Because that is a heinous ass crime. People like him, jail, I think, is too good. But the death penalty is way too good, actually. But, like, I don't know, there has to be something else that they need to do for people like that. Because just sitting in a cell is not good enough, in my personal opinion. Especially when they're going to be probably paired with other people who did similar crimes. They're not going to attack each other. Like, you need to pair them with people who don't play them games. Because that shit is disgusting. It's fucking weird, bro. And exploring this, like, not even really hating on the person exploring. No hate to them at all. But I think for me personally, it would just feel, like, really weird exploring something like this, knowing, like, what took place on these grounds.
That was left here.
I don't know.
What a sad sight to see. Knowing that that happened.
A little girl's backpack can be seen on the floor outside the kitchen. Although it's impossible to confirm if it belonged to Elizabeth Schoaf, it is possible that it was planted there after the crime by somebody else. As he explores the living room, the uploader finds more creepy stuff, including a DVD of the horror movie The Strangers, a Halloween decoration next to one of the couches, a shank, a broken baseball bat, and a ripstick. Obviously, the fact that
Yo,
these
the
items were left
ripstick.
behind is much more disturbing when you consider the history of the house. It's heartbreaking to imagine that some of the toys lying around the floor possibly belonged to the girl that Vincent Filion had stolen.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Throughout the rest of the house, several objects and pieces of furniture, including the bed in the main room, look like they were placed there much later than 2006.
So they look kind of fresh.
It's possible that the house was occupied by squatters, but because it was empty at the time the footage was shot, it's impossible to know what belonged to Filion, his common-law family, his victim, and the squatters. Thankfully, after being reunited with her family in 2006, Elizabeth went on to live a fruitful life, and the man who committed the heinous crime against her paid the price for it.
That's terrible.
Holton Avenue is a notoriously creepy abandoned street in Cleveland, Ohio.
Who the
In
fuck lives in Cleveland,
1913,
Ohio?
the first Hungarian
That's a joke,
Baptist
guys.
church was built on that street, eventually falling into disuse and being left abandoned like the rest of the buildings on that street. In April 2016, the body of a woman named Jessica Coleman was found there after she went missing, but unfortunately her attacker was never found. In July 2023, Chris Hill went to the location to record footage of the abandoned church, as well as the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. From disturbing graffiti to broken glass and peeling walls, the church checks every box you would expect from a creepy, abandoned building.
I feel
As
like
he
religious
ventures into
structures
the
are low-key
basement,
the
Chris finds
scariest
signs that
abandoned,
someone
bro.
else had been inside the church, including an action figure of Melvin the giraffe from Madagascar
What
that he
the
mentions he doesn't
hell?
remember seeing the last time he visited the location. Knowing that he's often not alone during his explorations, Chris set up several cameras throughout the church, and about 10 minutes into the exploration, one of the cameras on the main floor captures something pretty creepy.
That's weird. What's upstairs?
Obviously, doors don't just randomly shut themselves, and as it wasn't particularly windy that night, it's clear that someone was in the church with Chris. But after looking around for a bit, he can't find anyone in the church, and
I don't know
decides
why
to
the
head
fuck
back
you would do-
outside
look.
to explore the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue.
I don't know why the fuck you would
If the
explore
church
more.
was in a messed up state, some of the houses are even worse, with most of them looking like they could collapse at any second. Around half an hour into the visit, he decides to explore one of the most dilapidated houses on the block, and as he's in the basement, the exploration takes a scary turn.
It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy.
You need to get the fuck out.
Sorry. I didn't know nobody lived there. It smelled like I knew somebody was in there.
As he's exploring the basement, a sound can be heard coming
Wasn't
from the
the
ground
lights on?
floor, and when he goes back up to find out what it is, a person pulls back the curtain. Immediately apologizing, Chris runs back out to the street, and that's when he realizes that despite the horrible state of the supposedly abandoned house, there was actually someone living in there with electricity. Clearly most, if not all of the abandoned buildings on the block were housing people now who didn't want him there, something he never encountered on his first visit.
Yeah,
And
like is
with
one.
this newfound discovery, Chris called it a night.
Yeah, hell no. Bitch,
In
I'd be
February
sprinting back to my
2020,
car.
urban explorer Rhythm Ryder explored an abandoned house at an undisclosed location with his exploration partner Zay Clark. According to Rhythm, the house used to belong to an old woman who had passed away. In complete contrast to most abandoned houses, most of the woman's possessions had been left untouched, indicating that the house had not yet fallen prey to looters and squatters who often take things that aren't theirs. All throughout the house, the two explorers find everything from beautiful tableware and silverware to ornately woven tapestries and a fully equipped bar. Based on the calendars they found in the house, the property hadn't been occupied since August 2018. Just a few minutes into the visit,
grandmother had
Rhythm and
actually a
Zay
bar in
find
her basement.
something incredibly sad and disturbing.
Always been worried about something like this happening, and then it did. When we walked in here, we took a few steps in the door, and we saw this on the ground.
Yo, that scared
Now,
the
for
shit out
those
of
who
me.
can't figure that, figure out what that is a body stain. And you can see right there, there's a walker. So unfortunately, it seems that the woman who had lived here had taken a bad fall, landed on the floor, and that's where she expired, unfortunately. It's extremely sad to us. It took us a good 20 minutes to decide what we're going to do here, and you know, despite it feeling weird, we figured we still need to tell the story because this is a good reminder to everybody that you need to check on your loved ones. It seemed this woman had passed and was laying here for God knows how long before she was found. So check in on your loved ones, guys.
Right in the middle of the hallway, a human body stain can be
I
seen on the
feel
floor
like
next to a walker,
that would be enough to
indicating that
let
the
you
old woman
know.
probably had a bad fall
Check on your
and
loved
couldn't get
ones.
up. Sadly, she passed away and her body decomposed before anyone could save her, which
That's
is a
terrible,
terrifying
dude.
way to die. There appear to be signs that the woman's family members tried to sort through her things after she passed away, but overall her various belongings are in perfectly good shape, including her
That's a lot
bathroom
of
supplies,
books.
which were still there at the time of the recording. It's hard to watch the footage without having conflicting feelings. Even though the house is beautiful and you can easily tell that the woman who lived there with her husband was a talented, outgoing person, it's incredibly sad to see how she met her end. Overall, the footage
That's
should serve as a
horrific, man.
reminder to check in on your loved ones every time you get the chance, because nobody deserves to pass away like that. Since 2020, Rhythm with Ryder hasn't gone back to that location.
Well, hey, that was a video. That was like a really sad ending, actually. I didn't really expect it to end like that. That was... Yeah. Hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're watching this. You know? I'll see you later. Peace!